And we are live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this special live broadcast here on youtube.com/DanielGuys412. We're up here for our review for AEW Fyter Fest, which aired last night. If you all had the chance to watch this show, it was from Daytona, Florida. And I have a very special guest here with me, my good friend Matt Rossman. First time here on the channel, but Matt, it is great to finally get you on here. And why don't you tell our audience here a little bit about yourself?
Hey, thanks. I appreciate you finally having me on the show. I'm Matt Rossman. I'm from Stowe, Ohio, but I'm actually down here in Daytona Beach right now. I had seats section 102 last night for Fyter Fest, and I've been to a lot of WWE live shows, house shows, Raws, pay-per-views. Went to TLC a couple years ago, and they were cool. They were cool because it's all you had. Last night was special. This pay-per-view was special. And I can't wait to talk a little bit more about it.
Awesome. So yeah, this is a first. I've always wanted to actually do something like this where, one person watches the show from home and then somebody else watches it in person, because I think that really lends two different perspectives. Because as you know, you can go to one show and have a completely different feeling from how you watch it on TV. But I think, I would have to say, we both enjoyed this show, correct? I thought it was a good show.
Yeah, it was a fantastic show. Absolutely.
In my opinion, not as good as Double or Nothing, but my expectations going into that weren't as high. Like Double or Nothing, that was a huge statement. To me, this was a solid B pay-per-view. It wasn't built, it was a free show, by the way. So, it's not like, to me, their next big event, that's all out. So with Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen, I felt like it met my level of expectations. We got some solid wrestling. We got some intriguing storyline development, a little bit of controversy when it comes to a steel chair, and I can't wait to talk to you about that. So I feel like there was just a whole lot coming out of this show. It wasn't perfect, but I felt like they did enough right. It was certainly better than Stomping Grounds, a show that was so boring I didn't even feel like doing a review for. God, right. That show sucked. But yeah, I thought on the whole, an enjoyable night of wrestling. So, Matt,
agree.
You were there in the building. Just describe, what was the atmosphere like? How was the attendance? I know it wasn't a sold out show, which is fine. I still thought it was pretty good attendance from what I saw and what I read online. Just give us the overall vibe and your experience being in the building.
I mean, it was crazy from the minute I walked in. I walked in at 7:28. Show started at 7:30, and as soon as I walked in, their AEW chants were going, and there weren't many signs. I thought there would be more signs because I got like an old school WCW, just kind of. These pay-per-views, I kind of get like a WCW feel. There's there's blood, there's cussing, there's middle fingers. That's what I get, is like a ECW, WCW vibe. I expected a little more signs, but the crowd was crazy. The chants, it was wild. It was energy from the second I walked in. Everybody was super cool. It was amazing. So as soon as I walk in, I walk into Private Party coming down. There was a triple threat tag match with Private Party, Best Friends, and SoCal. And oh my God, what a match! It was fantastic from the start to the finish. I'm not really surprised with the outcome of Best Friends winning, but I kind of would have liked to see Private Party come out with a victory. They're going to be huge soon, so I have no doubts about their future at all. Any of the tag teams, they were all fantastic. Then I'll just cover the whole pre-show real fast. Then we went to the librarian. There's a gimmick of Leva Bates. She's coming out as a librarian. She had some guy with her. He's a librarian, and they were shushing each other and shushing people in the crowd. And it was like, I don't want to call it corny, but it sold her as the heel. And Allie came out. And she was the face for the match, and pretty good match. I'm not disappointed with the match by any means. Definitely pre-show material. Allie came out on top. which was good, to put her over. And then Michael Nakazawa versus the CEO. It was
what was that all about? Like, it was
it was a goofy comedy match, more or less. I mean, Nakazawa came out with, he had some baby oil and he squirted on himself to get out of like a bear hug from behind. And it was a goofy match. You could tell the CEO he's not very wrestling coordinated. There was, I don't remember if it was a suplex or he did something that Michael landed like on his head basically, and it was I'm in the crowd. I'm like, oh shit, it didn't look good. But I know he's friends with Kenny Omega, and he they worked something to have this as it was a rematch to a match they had previously, but it was goofy. I mean, they went outside the ring and stuff, and Nakazawa got thrown into a swimming pool with a bunch of like floaties and inflatables in there. And it was, he took the bump like it was steel chairs kind of. So it was goofy. It was funny. It was entertaining. It was a decent way to end the pre-show. It just gave you a good laugh to lighten the mood and keep you entertained, but nothing by any means. I wouldn't go back and watch the match again.
I mean, it's the pre-show. It was what it was. The crowd, I heard, they didn't turn on it, so that's good. They didn't chant boring or end this match, or they enjoyed it. So that's good.
The whole show from beginning to end, there was never a negative chant.
Good.
The whole way through. Everybody, I can't. From everybody I've talked to, from non-wrestling fans to wrestling fans to diehards, either you don't know AEW or you love AEW. I don't know anybody who's like, you know what? It's okay. It's either I don't know what it is, or God, I love this. I can't wait for this. So there was nothing negative about last night from the crowd at all. No, not one bit.
Nice. All right, so let's kick things off here. Let's talk about the official card. And it kicked off here with in-ring action with Christopher Daniels versus Cima. I'm familiar with Daniels, not too familiar here with Cima, but I thought this was a nice, solid, I think it clocked in around 9-minute good opening match, set the pace for the show. Cima here, crowd was into it. He was able to get the win with the diving knee drop. So I thought some solid wrestling. Obviously, these two apparently have a history with one another. I thought it was just a good quick opener, set the pace for the night. Your thoughts, Matt, on this match?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It was a solid opening night opening card match. I wasn't really blown away by it. I'm blown away to find out that Christopher Daniels he's a little bit older. But watching him go last night, I hate to use Fountain of Youth, but he was moving like he found a new pep. He's got some pep to his step now. So, which is that, it's great to see. I love to see older guys, still kicking, still doing what they love to do. And, I mean, it was a really good match. It was the perfect match to open the show with. Absolutely.
Well, he's 49. I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah, he's got some old bones.
He looks good for his age. I have to give him that. But yeah, anything else you want to add about this match before we move on?
No, like you said, they had a little history from what I understood too.
Apparently,
and I'm pleased with the match. Pleased with opening of the night with the card.
Okay, let's move on next here. I know you didn't get a chance to see this match, but I thought this was a solid, really solid three-way match here with, oh God, I'm going to try not botch these names. Riho defeated Yuka, Sakazaki, and Nyla Rose. I thought these three women went out there. They told a really good story in the ring. I thought it was a solid triple threat. Just a lot of impressive action here, with Nyla Rose and Yuka, and the way that this match came down to the end here is Nyla was going for a beast bomb, but Riho was able to reverse it into the leg hook for the surprise win. Afterwards, Nyla gets upset, attacks Riho, but Yuka makes the save post-match. So I just thought the women here They all worked well against each other here in this triple threat match. Not too familiar. I've seen Nyla Rose, obviously, on Double or Nothing. She was there. Riho and Yuka Sakazaki. Like I said, I hope I'm pronouncing these names correctly here. But yeah, I thought one of the better matches here of the night. And I'm really looking forward to seeing, what is in future for the AEW, the women's division. Obviously, Britt Baker. There's some more names that I got to get familiar with. And that's the nice thing about watching these AEW shows. I feel like so far with the first two shows here, they really give you a little bit of everything from the women's match to the opener to, the hardcore match. We'll talk about the unsanctioned match, the tag team matches, like up and down the card. I feel like they really give you that variety, which is important here on a pay-per-view of this nature. So yeah, good stuff here. And like I said, you didn't get a chance to see this match, but I definitely recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I made my way to the concession stand, and let's just say they had about 6 people trying to serve the whole Ocean Center, and it just it just happened to be during this match. And I'm definitely gonna go back on my vacation now. So maybe tomorrow when I'm laying on the I'm out on the beach on the ocean, I'll kick back and load that Bleacher Report up and check this match out.
Yeah, definitely watch that match and don't watch Raw tomorrow. That's all I can
Raw,
say.
I'm not sure what Raw is. I haven't seen it in probably 2 months, so I forget what that is.
You haven't missed anything, let me tell you that.
I'm sure.
Moving on here, the next match was MJF versus Jungle Boy versus Jimmy Havoc versus Adam Hangman Page, who happens to be the challenging Chris Jericho for the inaugural AEW Championship. We had Kip Sabian here joining the commentary team. And before this match, we had MJF go on the mic, rip you guys in the crowd a new one. I thought this was great. I thought, oh my God, a heel, getting heat. Yeah. What a concept. Because nowadays it's so, it's such a lost art, I feel. It's cool to be a heel. No, I want to see heels. And like MJF, I thought he did a fantastic job here. Like he did a Double or Nothing, ripping into Bret Hart, actually getting the crowd to want to boo you. Lost concept, I feel. Your thoughts on, before we get into the match, the promo that MJF cut, which I thought was
fantastic. It was gold. It was absolute gold. This guy comes out and I'm with my fiance, and she goes, he kind of looks like Dolph Ziggler's little brother mixed with the Miz, Ryan Nemeth and the Miz.
A little bit.
Holy shit! Yeah, he actually does. So he's got his pink tights on and his little scarf, and I go, I don't know. I don't know. He killed his promo. Absolutely killed it. I'm having the best time. I know you're not supposed to like the heel. Love him. Love him. Maxwell Jacob, remember that name. MJF, gold. Just absolute gold.
I agree. Oh my goodness. Like I said, this guy, he's going to be a big name here for AEW. He's going to be a guy to watch out for. And like I said, first time I've really gotten a chance to know him. I believe the first time I found out about him, he did an interview with Stone Cold on his podcast, which was really entertaining. And to see him here and what he did at Double or Nothing. And I thought, from what I saw here, missed kind of parts of this Fatal 4-Way match. Like I said, I kind of was watching this in the background, was kind of doing other things here. But from what I saw, from what I heard Jungle Boy really had a good showing in this match. Oh, he's somebody to keep an eye on for. And oh God.
You got 4 guys coming out to the ring, and one of them weighs 157 pounds.
Yeah.
I thought, shit, I weighed 157 pounds when I was in 12th grade, and he comes out with a guy who's probably 6'5", 3, 4, like just a giant, comes out riding him. And you go, I hate to see this guy get smashed. Jungle Boy, phenomenal. Tore the house down. This was probably, hard to say, my favorite match. Everybody did their part and did their part damn well. From Hangman, who always puts on a fantastic show. Jungle Boy, he hit this flip from the outside onto him, and it was just I holy shit, how the hell, which way did he flip? I don't know. It was fantastic. Jimmy Havoc's an older guy too. I don't think he's quite 49, but He's an older guy. He played his part perfectly. And then MJF, fantastic wrestler on the mic, probably a top 7 of my favorite wrestlers now. It was a fantastic match. I hate to say I knew Hangman would win, but I wanted MJF to win after that promo he cut. I wanted him to get the win, but Paige took the victory. And, I was actually hoping to see, I didn't want to say this now, I want to say this for the end, but I think my biggest dislike about this pay-per-view was the lack of Chris Jericho. And I know they're selling he wants a thank you from
Yes.
Cody and they're selling this, but you're also trying to sell AEW, and get your ass there is how I feel. You have a pay-per-view once a month. I love him. I still love him. Drink.
How can you not?
I love it. The greatest of all time in my opinion. But get your ass there. And I thought he was going to come out, and I thought he was going to attack Paige after the victory, and he didn't show, and it broke my heart. And just a fantastic match though. So I don't want to take anything away from the match because Chris Jericho wasn't there, but I would have loved to have seen him attack Paige after the win to just build some more heat and tension between them before the pay-per-view in August.
Well, something like that might happen at the Fight for the Fallen pay-per-view live event, which is coming up on the 13th, though. So that'll be here before you know it. I don't know if Jericho is. I'm looking at the card right now. I don't believe he's on that card, but something tells me Hangman Page is in action, so we might see. I think we'll see Jericho then. But yeah,
I'm hoping. You just get there. If you're trying to sell me your brand, sell me your best guys for that brand. Don't I don't call it cheap out, but get everybody there. It's once a month. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, fair enough. And anything else you want to add about this match before we move on to what I thought was an excellent match here coming up next?
No, I thought it was an A match. I wouldn't give it an A+. I'd give it an A. Excellent match. I would definitely go back and watch that again.
Okay. So let's talk about what might be my match of the night. I think I have to say this. Cody versus Darby Allin. First time I've ever seen this guy, and he certainly has a lot of potential here. Just watching him get bumped around and thrown to the outside and doing that crazy suicide trust fall-like move onto the ring apron. Almost, that was just crazy. I've never seen that before. It's like I can never do that. Holy shit.
He got whipped by Cody out to he hit the turnbuckle and then whipped to the outside, and it was like, holy shit, this guy, he just died. I just watched this guy die. I don't know if he's got some kind of like genetic thing with his bones and joints, but he could take bumps. He was flipping when he came to the way to the ring. I saw him do this flip off the ropes, kind of Darby Allin is a name you will remember. Especially after this match. I didn't, knowing the outcome, I understood. I thought the match started off a little slow.
A little bit. But
especially with
it got going.
It did get going. Yes, it did. With the body bag. There was a point Darby Allin, Darby Allin brought it out for Cody. Cody ended up using it on him. He didn't sell when Darby was in the body bag. He was standing up. Cody, I forget what he did, but Darby didn't really sell the kick. I think it was a kick or something that well in the bag. But you're in a black bag where you can't see anything, so I get it. But other than it started off, it's like I said, it started off a little slow, but knowing the outcome with the time becoming a factor or the factor in it becoming a draw.
I like that.
I did too. And timing is everything in life. And that timing was perfect.
I agree.
Fantastic match. Like you said, it started slow, got good. Like I said, it ended in a draw. And then Shawn Spears comes out. And boy,
let's
Chair
talk
shot.
about chair shot by Sean Spears, who, if you don't know, it was the former Ty Dillinger in WWE. Comes out,
10,
clocks
10.
Cody. Yeah, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Well, he was, swinging for the fences tonight. He hit Cody so hard. I don't know if it's the way that the chair wrapped around his head. Cody got busted open in the back of his head. Blood was pouring out. MJF and SCU come out. They help tend to Cody. Brandi Rhodes is screaming. I got mixed reactions to this, just looking at Twitter here. And I'll just start with my opinion on this. I don't like to see unprotected chair shots. I'm sorry. I mean, it was a thing back in the day, but we didn't know about CTE and the effects that this would lead to. And we've seen what has happened to wrestlers that have been hit so many times in the head. And we're literally just coming off the 12-year anniversary of the Chris Benoit murder-suicides. So I'm just thinking we should not be doing I mean, as much as I love violence and blood, if you're going to take the chair shot, put your hands up and take it. There's a way you can I mean, we do stunts. We know how to do it. You put your hands up, block the shot. None of that. Like, I don't need to see. I know some people liked it. What did you think about it? Because I was just like, no.
I'm with you 1,000%. There's things you do and you don't do. And when like Darby Allin jumped, like you said, the suicide or the trust fall off from the top. That's all in him. That's all his control. But that's body. He's using body. Yeah. This was Cody's head, his brain. I'm not a fan of unprotected shots to the head at all.
Nope.
Didn't like it. I watched part of an interview Tony Khan did after and said that was not planned. He said, you can build, don't quote me, you can build the safest plane ever, but there's going to be pilot error. So it sounded like that was not the plan. It sounded like Cody kind of took the reins on that. I might be wrong. I may be totally wrong, but it looked like Cody kind of took the reins for that and made that judgment call. And not a big fan of it. Just not a big fan.
Well, the other issue was I felt like it kind of overshadowed the match that Cody and Darby Allin had. Like, we're talking about it here, but I feel like more people are talking about this stupid chair spot getting hit in the head. Like, it's just, again, it was not necessary. Again, if you're going to do the chair shot, put your hands up, for goodness sakes. Seriously.
I mean, but if you look at it, I'm with you. But Darby Allin got over in the match.
He did.
He didn't lose to Cody Rhodes. And then now talk about the heat that Sean Spears has. This dude has got heat. He's got Miami heat. So I don't. And now you feel Cody's totally face. So everybody won in this, but it did take away from the match, and I hate to see that, and I'd also hate to see something, happen to Cody long term with like CT and things like that. But
exactly. Anything else you want to say about the match and the chair shot?
No, just let's not do those. Let's not do that again.
Please no. Speaking of craziness, let's talk about this the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid versus Young Bucks and Kenny Omega match.
Elite.
Wow.
Elite.
Was freaking awesome. So Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, they come out in Street Fighter gear. I'm not sure if you're up, but see, I've never played the Street Fighter game. So were they just as Ryu and Ken?
Ryu and
Ken.
I
was close.
Yeah. Ryu and Ken. And yes, it was gold. They I don't know what you could see from Bleacher Report, but they were mocking Fyre Fest, which was a concert that never happened. I think it was last year, 2 years ago, something like that. But it was a big, huge concert. It was supposed to be like Coachella, but it was supposed to be in the Bahamas. And you were, you bought tickets and you were going to get a cabana, but, there were no cabanas. You got like FEMA tents. It was just, it was the biggest scam of all time. So this pay-per-view was basically, it was mocking it the whole time. So, they had a budget and Kenny Omega was in charge of the budget and stuff. But they said that he spent half of the budget on their costumes and everything. And so you're waiting for them to come out. They showed that promo earlier in the card, and then it comes out, and you're like, oh, the crowd went nuts. The crowd loved it. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. They actually did a Street Fighter move, a Hadouken, during the match.
That was nice. I did like that.
It was really cool because it was the gamer convention. The CEO's gaming convention was there earlier. So, I mean, the crowd was full of gamers and wrestling nerds. And it was a great tribute to that. It totally got them over. The Young Bucks definitely got over. You know, I mean, not that they weren't already over, but it was really, really cool to see that.
Now, the match itself, I mean, I just think there's way too much here to recap. It was just crazy spot fest tag team, you know, flips and kicks and Hadoukens and this is awesome chants and V-trigger knees and just
super
oh my god
parties. Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody in the match was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. The Young Bucks, I haven't seen a lot of their work, unfortunately, not yet at least. But after last night, I'm going on ProWrestlingTees.com after we wrap up tonight, and I'm getting a Young Bucks shirt.
They're fun to watch.
Love them. They were fun to watch.
And Fénix and Pentagón, Fénix and Pentagón Zero, I believe his name is, if I'm not mistaken.
I just know him as Fénix and then Pentagón. Yeah.
They were awesome. The Lucha Bros, they're becoming one of my favorites to watch. And, you know, when it comes to tag team wrestling, which I'm happy that AEW is going to be putting a focus on, which is something I've always been a fan of. And it's something that I feel like we're not getting much of from WWE when it comes to quality tag team wrestling. But that's another issue for another video. But getting back to the match here, though, it came down to we had 10 minutes remaining. Kenny Omega hit the one-winged angel for the win. So the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega were victorious in this match. And like I said, really too much to recap here. Go out of your way, watch this match if you just want to see a fun, kick-ass tag team match here.
Yeah, definitely probably my favorite match of the night.
Great six-man.
Nonstop. A lot of kicks, like you said, kicks, flips, twists, all of it.
A little bit of everything.
Great stuff.
Definitely. And then, how about this? I like the fact of when, you know, and it was great to see Justin Roberts as the ring announcer. I'm glad that he's back in the fold here with All Elite Wrestling, you know, and I liked when he announced that the show is going to be ending here, but we also have another match. So the lights went out, the lights came back on, and then we had the announcement of the unsanctioned match, which I liked the way that they presented that. I thought that was very smart. You know, it's like, oh, this is the official end of the show. However, we do technically have one match left here. And that one match was a non-sanctioned match between Jon Moxley taking on Joey Janela. This was the first time I've seen Joey Janela wrestle. And I've heard of him. He was on the Austin podcast as well. Listen to his interview. He had a great story to tell. I thought this was, you know, barbed wire and thumbtacks and bare feet and just falling off ladders and just, my God, the chaos, the carnage, the blood. You know, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I love a good hardcore street fight, a non-sanctioned match, if you will say. But I thought this was really enjoyable, you know, for what it was. Your thoughts on this match, Matt?
Yeah, I'm watching this match and there's barbed wire and there's tacks, like you said, and I go, holy shit.
Whoa.
You know, Joey the Bad Boy, you know, God, dog. I mean, Moxley took his boots off, and this man is barefoot. And he picked him up, and he threw him like I threw my daughter into a swimming pool, like onto tacks. And I go, damn, this poor guy. You know, this is what he's coming into AEW to get done. But, you're headlining their second pay-per-view. Throw me on some damn tacks. Let me go against Jon Moxley. You know, but it was like you said, it was a great time. Some people aren't into, you know, did they push the limits? Yes, they did. Was it worth watching? Hell yes, it was. The barbed wire chair. There's 2 barbed wire tables.
Flying elbow off the ladder.
Off the ladder. It was fantastic. You know, it was tough from where I was. Some of the stuff I couldn't see, and they didn't put, they weren't live streaming to the Jumbotron all the time. So some of the times you could hear my section yelling, "We can't see," because
couldn't see.
There was a guy, I don't know, 6 or 7 rows back, and he gave Joey a prosthetic leg to hit Moxley with.
Really?
And it was like, oh, did he just hit him with a fake leg? And the crowd went crazy, when the guy got his leg back and everything. But it was thoroughly entertaining. I'm in the crowd like, oh my God, I can feel the tacks in my feet when he's getting slammed on him. But it was a good match. It was very entertaining. This is what I wanted to see from. I hate to keep bringing WWE into this, but this is what I wanted a few years ago during WrestleMania when Dean Ambrose fought Brock Lesnar in a hardcore street match. This is what I wanted to see. This is what it could have been.
Yep.
But in turn, that's one of the worst matches I think I've ever seen. That's why it sticks out in my head. I thought last night was amazing. They both did a fantastic job. I cannot express how glad I am to see Moxley in AEW and not Dean Ambrose.
He's reinvigorated himself. You can see how happy he is.
Yeah, he is. He's free, and you can see the creative juices just flowing, the energy off of him. He is so happy, and he's in his element. It's great to see. I wasn't a big Dean Ambrose fan. He was definitely the least favorite in the Shield, but he's definitely one of my high favorites in AEW. I love seeing him out there.
Oh my goodness. Like I said, this was a great introduction for me to Joey Janela, who I thought, props to him for everything that he went through. Dean Ambrose, of course, he's a sick. I believe the chant was "You sick fucks."
You sick fuck. Yes. Yeah,
that was great.
He gave a nice bow too. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And it happened a couple times. There was probably 5 chants. They chanted that probably 4 or 5 times.
No, it definitely came through on the mics. Let me tell you that. Yeah. But
did you hear me yell, "I want Chris Jericho"? Did you hear me yell that?
Do you know what?
It was during the Cody and Darby Allin match. I yelled, "Would you thank Jericho already?" I yelled that. I don't know if anybody heard it. I meant to ask my friend Justin. Shout out to my good brother Justin Mack. I went to ask him if he heard it, but I haven't got the chance to. I forgot to ask him earlier.
Now I want to go back to watch.
Go back. It'd be near the end of the match. But my section had a good laugh about it. But let's talk about Kenny Omega. This is another point in time where I thought the GOAT Chris Jericho was going to come out and attack Ambrose to pay him back for what he did at Double or Nothing. But again, he didn't show. Not yet. But my good friend Kenny Omega took care of that. And
he beat the shit out of him.
He beat the shit out of him. Yes, he did. And it was, I love it. He left like he was done. And then Moxley was getting helped by 2 refs, and he pushed the refs over.
Bam.
And then Omega came back. He came back with a garbage can and kicked his ass. And it was awesome to see. Getting some payback. I love to see Omega get some payback against him for what he did at Double or Nothing.
Oh, yeah, easily. I mean, who wouldn't want to get his hands on Dean Ambrose? Yeah. He attacked him with the electric guitar, the drum set. He was drumming. That was funny.
Was that a Guitar Hero or a Rock Band guitar?
I'm not sure. It had to have been gimmick because there's no way you're hitting somebody with a real guitar. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it looked well. Elias does, but it looked like a Rock Band guitar.
It might have been. I didn't get a good look at it, but something tells me that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
How about at the end when Ambrose, they show the shot of Kenny Omega standing over him, and then he's just there laughing. He's like, "Yeah, I fucking like that, and I want some more." But he is he's sick. He's twisted. That's Jon Moxley in a nutshell. And I can't wait for their match at All Out. It's going to be awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
That's not a good show.
That we're getting in 2019. Who would have thought at the beginning of the year said you're going to see Dean Ambrose and he's going to be called Jon Moxley and he will be facing Kenny Omega in a brand new company called All Elite Wrestling in 2019. If you said that at the beginning of this year,
it's unreal to think that one of my best friends, my good brother Justin Mack, we talk wrestling all the time. He's a super wrestling nerd, And I told him that I was coming to see this, and he was so mad. He goes, "You're gonna see Kenny Omega live before me? You know, this is bullshit." And it clicked when I'm at the show. I'm like, holy shit. You know, I'm watching Kenny Omega, who was in Japan for how long? You know, I'm watching this man live. It's crazy to think that this is actually happening. It's so awesome. It's so cool. I mean, people who don't appreciate wrestling, you know, they don't understand it. But, you know, if you're a wrestling fan and you're seeing these guys that were overseas for so long, and you're also seeing younger guys like Joey Janela, you know, getting this big push. It's so cool to see.
Opportunity for him.
Like, you know, and as I said last night, Jungle Boy would never get a look in WWE. Vince would never give Jungle Boy the look.
Oh, he's too phenomenal.
What a phenomenal showing he put on last night. Phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So in closing here, since we've hit on all the major talking points, this is the part of the show where, you know, I like to say, what grade would you give this event? I've come to my grade. I'm going to give it going back and forth, I'm going to give it a B+. Like I said, it wasn't quite as good as Double or Nothing, but I still thought it was an overall solid, enjoyable 2.5 hours of professional wrestling. Didn't overstay its welcome, and I look forward to Fight for the Fallen and All Out come August. Your grade?
I'm going with a B+ as well. Like I said, I would have really liked to see Jericho there. You know, if this was 2 or 3 years in the future and they're already, you know, established, I wouldn't have minded so much. But this is your second pay-per-view, and you're, you know, basically the biggest name on the roster.
Basically, yeah.
Get your ass there. You know what I mean? Especially when you're going for the title. You know, in August. Be there. You don't need Goldust there. You know, he's irrelevant. He's a big name, but he's irrelevant.
Yeah.
You got heat to build up with Moxley or Page, or even further your heat with Omega. You know, get there, be there. Other than that, I'm definitely giving it a B+. Every match was well worth watching, other than maybe 1 or 2 of the pre-show. But even the triple threat in the pre-show, that was an A+ match.
Nice.
I think B+ is the agreed rating for this pay-per-view.
Okie dokie. So on that note, once again, Matt, thank you again for joining me for this live AEW Fyter Fest results and review video. Like I said, you're always welcome back here on the channel. And before we go here, be sure to get any plugs in that you would like to for any film projects you're working on. If you have Twitter, Facebook, however you want to handle that, go ahead.
Awesome. Thanks, brother, for having me on the show. I know it's been a few months that we've been trying to get this going, but it's nice to finally link up.
Yes.
Follow me on any social media. It should be I am Matt Rossman. I've got a couple films going on, got some shorts working on my feature film. It's untitled right now. We have a title, but I don't like it. We're not doing that title. Just got some stuff out. I would say, you know, add me on those the social media. I am Matt Rossman. And keep your eyes peeled for the next couple months, and I'll have plenty of projects to keep you entertained in between each AEW pay-per-view.
Nice, nice. So once again, Matt, thank you for joining me for this live review, and thank you all for tuning in or watching later on. And feel free to comment down below if you're watching later on. Click our my like and subscribe button here on youtube.com/DanielGeyser412 for all my latest thoughts here on professional wrestling. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at DanielGeyser412, Facebook.com/DanielGeyser1994. Links can be found down below in the description box. And be sure to follow the Kane Action Team. That is KaneActionTeam.com, the preeminent action stunt team in Akron, Ohio. So until then, guys, thank you all for watching again. Thank you, Matt, again for coming on, and we are out. See you guys.
Later, brother.